Hello, my name is Professor Cihan Çobanoğlu. I'm the McKibben Endowed Chair Professor and the Director of M3 Center at the University of South Florida. I would like to congratulate you for getting a new journal website on eReviewer. So what I would like to do with you is to go through some of the steps, initial steps that you need to do to be able to use the eReviewer most efficiently and effectively. Even though eReviewer is ready to be used, every journal or conference is different from each other, so that there is a couple of some setup things that you need to do. So let me walk you through about that. I'm going to share my screen with you right here. And here you go. And let's imagine that we have created a fictitious journal here. This journal doesn't exist. It's just for the purpose of this tutorial. And imagine that you are the editor of Journal of Marketing and Sales. One of the first things that you are going to do, you are going to log into your journal. So I have already created an account for this. You will also have the account information. So as an editor, I'm going to go and log into my journal. When you come into this journal's navigational toolbar, you'll see that I have different roles here. I, as the editor, can be the author. I can actually submit papers to this journal, although I cannot manage them. In other words, if I am an author of a paper to this journal, I cannot send them to reviewers because it's double blind. So somebody else who have got managerial editorial access has to manage that paper for me. And I can be a reviewer or I can be the manager. So let me go through some of the initial steps for setup that you need to do is for this one. Before I do that, I want to go through this different options here. Admin Center is your kind of like navigational toolbar. Here you'll be able to see all of the papers that's been submitted to your journal from the draft place all the way to the submissions that's been completed, all the way to the published paper. So you can see all of the happenings about your journal in a very quick look. And this is the users, where you have the users of your journal, and you'll be able to create more users if you need, or as people sign up to use your website system, you're going to be able to see them over here, and you can also select all of them and convert that into an Excel file, PDF, or comma separated value. If you want to add a new user, this is not the best way of actually adding a user into the system, but we created this here, and I'm going to show you the better way of creating a username or adding a user. And email configurations, we're going to come back here in a few seconds. As a matter of fact, it's better that if I these are some of the templates for emails that eReviewer is using. You as the editor have a chance to be able to alter them, change them, add, delete if you need to do so. So these four is what you need to set up in the beginning. When you start using a journal, we recommend that you come here and set these up. What are they? So this academic titles that you see here is actually are the academic titles that when users sign up, they see this. Let me show you as an example. Imagine that now I go into another browser. I'm going to create an account here as a user. You see this academic titles here. This is actually on here. So as you can see, I have here. Imagine that if this is not satisfy you, there are 27 of them. If you have a title that doesn't exist here, you can come here and click on type it, whatever it is. I'm just going to save it just to show you. Let me refresh my page and see how that AA just appeared here. It puts that in alphabetical order. Obviously, this AA does not make sense. So I'm going to go back to the this latest one, and I'm going to delete this AA because it does simply not make a sense. User tracks are Similarly, in the sign up form, we ask people a track that best describes themselves. If the tracks that you see you believe appropriate are not listed here, you can just come back to the website here and simply add them and click on save. They are going to appear on the user one. So these two are for the user sign up. These two, academic titles and user tracks, impact the user sign up form. The other two actually impact the submission form, paper submission form, submission types, and also submission issues. We are going to be able to see them over here. Let me just show you as an author what they look like. I'm going to come here as an author, journal author. Again, these are all just test accounts that we created to show you what is going on. So if as an author, this is a good chance also for me to show the editors how a submission happens. We have tutorials on our website that you can send to your users. Usually it doesn't hopefully require a tutorial, but it's very simple. They just simply click on start new submission and they click on begin submission. As you can see here, there are two different types of papers and only one regular issue. If you come here, if you have, for example, if you have a journal like my journal, let me go to JHTT. I'm the editor of Journal of Hospitality Tourism Technology from Emerald. You can just see that my journal have quite a few different types of articles that people can submit. I'm going to show them to you. Here you go. Refereed article. That's what we call full paper refereed article. And here, industry article. So let me just add this up here into mine. So I just simply come here. I add this industry article, and look, your users will see it. Let me refresh the page. They are going to see it immediately. It's so instant. Just please be careful when you add this here later. If people submit on this category and you decide to delete that type, then all the papers that have been submitted under whatever title that you are deleting will also disappear. So be careful about it. I recommend that create one and then try not to play too much with it because it's a database. And the other one, let's go to my journal, book review. I'm going to come back here. I will also put book review and click on submission type. Continue. What else do we have? Conference report and case study. If I have to have this conference report, and the last one was case study. So again, I am using this as an example, and as your authors, actually, let me refresh. As you do it, they will be able to see this new categories as well. And the other thing that you need to actually create is submission issues. As you know, some journals have special issues. Let me show you again one example from my journal. So I'm going to actually come here to the special issues just to show you this is all author guidelines. Here you go. You see, these are the two. Imagine that I'm going to just put this special issue in here. I come here. Remember, I am in submission issues. And also see that the author only sees one until I add my other special issue. If I were to do this, again, I'm going back to the author view just to switch to show you. Here is the special issue come. Why is this important? Because if you have a special issue and then you have a guest editor or associate editors that you want them to handle these submissions, you can actually assign them this particular one. So we'll look at that later, how you can do it in a few seconds. I'm going to come back here and I will be able to select if I have any, for example, for this special issue, if I want John Doe to handle it, I can actually select from here whom I want. um, whatever that you want, you can actually do it. So here, this is enough. That's it. This is the only type of setting that you need to do. And also, maybe you may want to look at this email configurations. These emails are all the emails that eReviewer uses when something happens. There is a trigger. A new user gets an email. The editor makes a decision, minor revision. As you can see here, just to show as an example, these have dynamic field names, which means that obviously when this email has been sent, it's not going to say dear first name, last name. It's going to have dynamically the first name of the person whom you are sending this to and the last name. And here, dear Jihan Chobanolu, manuscript number 2222, whatever it is, entitled, the title of that. You can also change them here. You can add more if you need to. You can put here. This means that submission ID, you can even do it like this. I need to put this back. I should not play with these because submission ID, because those are dynamic fields. Submission title, if you want, you can put here whatever that you want. You can add, delete, change this particular template. I didn't make any changes. I would like you please to go through this when you have time, even though it should work for you, because we have prepared them that will make sense to every kind of a journal, but you can always want to add more, delete, etc. So now let me just, this is it. Your setup is completed. Congratulations again. You can just start using this one. Please also put a logo of eReviewer on your website as the sponsor of your journal. And we would love to have that opportunity as well. And now I would like to show you how it looks like from an author standpoint of view. So let me just sign out again, and sign in as an author. I'm an author. Now I'm going to submit a paper. So if this is the case, and here I would like to show you a couple of things as an editor, what you can do. I'm an author. I'm going to start a new submission. I'm going to click on begin submission. There are 6 steps, linear, and I'm in step number 1. Very easy. Remember, I already have done. Imagine that this is, I'm typing submitting a refereed article. That's good. Title. I'm just going to put 5, and I'm going to put this in a regular issue. And I'm going to get here just some kind of an abstract. I already have a paper here I prepared, as you see, which, by the way, this doesn't really make sense, just to show you. And I can put the keyword as the author. I'm the author right now. I'm going to click on save. I'm in number 2, step number 2, and the journal authors. So imagine that I am going to have a second order author. And if you can always, the author can always, let's say, I'm looking for this author. Let me just do 2, because I already have this person. I'm going to just click on find. So author 2 was already being found. So I'm going to click on yes. And for the sake of example, let me add one more, which doesn't exist in this system. So I'm going to click on author does not have an account. So there's no problem if the author does not have an account. So I can just come here, journal author 3, journal author. Of course, this will be a regular name, but I am just now doing it for the example. Here, I'm coming. I'm going to add this, and I'm going to click. You can make this person corresponding author. You can make more than one person corresponding author in eReviewer, which is very timely. Here is the authors. If the order is changing, I can just like simply drag and drop. See, I can just take this up. So you see, I already added journal author number 3. Let me show you, go to the email and what's going to happen. There is no email yet for this author because I'm not done yet. But when I finish this submission, all of these authors will also receive an email telling them that somebody has submitted a paper on with their name. So I'm going to click on save and continue, number 3. This is where I'm going to have my file uploaded. I can have multiple different files. So I have the sample paper here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on open. And I'm going to choose, this is an anonymous article file. So I click on upload and it uploaded the paper. You can see there is quite a few different files that you can upload depending upon the journal. You can add them all as one or separate files. So here in the 4th step, if I have a cover letter, I'm going to put here or attach the cover letter. If I have a funding, you can put that in here. If this been submitted previously, yes or no. And there are 3 confirmation questions that the users have to agree. And if there is any conflict of interest, they can just like indicate them in here. And of course, some journals support open access. If that journal support open access and you give that opportunity to your authors, either for a fee or free, then they can just indicate here. I'm going to click on save and continue. I'm in step number 5, which allows me to actually click on generate PDF. Now I will be able to see my paper to look if it looks good or not. So this is a not real paper, obviously. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to click on continue. And the last step is to review what I have just entered and click on finish. Now, this has now gone into an email has been triggered. You are going to see it in a few seconds. Here we go. So remember journal author number 3. It tells journal author number 3, an account has been generated for you. Please visit to set their passwords. Because we created an account for them as the author, they can actually create the password for it. But if you want to change this message, imagine that you don't like this message. What you can do as a editor, you can come here. And as you can see here, there is the templates here. New user. Let's find out. Withdraw. Okay, I'm just checking. I believe it is this email here. Here you go. Yes, yes. So look here. Let me go into here. This is what it looks like. Let me bring the screens side by side so you can see it. Dear first name, last name, an account has been generated for you. Please visit invitation link. Invitation link is here. For their password, to change their password. If you want to put your name here as the editor, you can just come here, say, put like this, editor-in-chief. If you want to do this, you can do whatever you want. Just click on save. I'm not going to do it right now. And this is what it looks like. So as you can see, as an author, I can see what's going on to my paper. Let's go switch gears to the editor. Now I am the editor. I also will receive an email. You can see here, as the editor, here you go. I also receive an email that it comes here, the submission type, everything. And let me go back here. And you see there's a new submission. The one that I just did here, title of the paper 5, remember? We just did that together here. And here's the authors of this paper and awaiting. And now as the editor, what I will do is this. I'm going to click on action. And I'm, of course, want to see what they've submitted. I want to check to see if this fits to my journal or not. I look at here, this is the not meaningful paper. Let's assume that this is really wrong article. And I want to desk reject this. If this is the case, I come here, I change the number of reviews required to make a decision. If this is a desk reject, I'm just going to put there 0, and this make a decision option come. Remember that some journals require 3 reviewers to make a decision. So you need to have reviewers here, 3 of them, to be able to make a decision. But it depends on the journal. Here for the sample, I'm going to click on 0, and I can click on desk reject, and here's desk reject email. And remember, I have these emails here under the manage and the email configurations. If you want, you can change this text here as you like it. I'm not going to do this because I really want to send this paper to review to show you. And how can you search for the reviewers? If you have the reviewers already in your system, it's very easy. You can put a keyword and you can put the reviewers, you can search, but I don't have anybody yet because this is a new journal. And there are 2 ways of doing this. You can actually create a reviewer account from here. Remember, again, I'm in admin center. Let me walk through you one more time. New submission. And I clicked on the take action for a paper that's been submitted to my journal. Here, if I already have my reviewers, I can search them from here. But if not, I can create one reviewer account from here. So if you were to create this from here, it is okay, but I do not recommend this because your reviewers will receive this email that has an account has been created for them. So it's usually better idea to tell your reviewers, board of advisors, board of reviewers, to actually give them this address. Create an account. I clicked on create an account, and you can just like send them this link, ask them to become a users. So let's do it. Okay, I'm gonna, let's say I have an associate professor. So journal reviewer, let's say I am John Doe. Here I'm gonna put 4, journal reviewer number 4, journal reviewer for chobanoğlu.com. I'm just gonna do it just to show you how this actually works. So you gave this to your reviewers go and fill this up just like I am doing. I'm gonna select, this is all random by the way. I am just doing it just to do it to show you. And let's say mail, hospitality, tourism, marketing, and I agree to the terms. I click on sign up. So now my reviewer has created the account. Okay, just hang in there. So I'm going to log out. I'm going to go back to this as an editor. Remember my users. Imagine that I have already asked my reviewers. So I know that journal reviewer number 4 is a reviewer. But here it shows, because when people create an account, it makes them as an author. So automatically, by default, an author, not everybody as a reviewer. Even though you can choose this authors to assign a paper, but I always feel it's a good idea to come to this users and pick your reviewers, whoever your reviewers are, and simply give them the reviewer access. So remember your journal reviewer. Let me just first reviewer 4 at chobanoğlu.com. This reviewer, you see right now, will only see author. This is just an author account, but let's see what the magic happens. So I'm going to give this reviewer the reviewer role. I'm going to click on assign user role. Now let me come back and refresh. Look what happens. So this person also became reviewer, you see, and they don't have any reviews yet. It's 0, but I'm going to assign them soon. Let's do it. So this is one way of doing it. The other way, as I have shown you, I'm going to go to Admin Center and I'm going to click on Submissions. And this is the article that I would like to send to review. Click on Action. And remember, now what I can do, I can actually search hospitality among all users or the reviewers, and journal reviewer number 4 will come because it has hospitality in the keywords. And for me to add this, I'm going to actually click on Add. By the way, the journal reviewer 4 gets the emails. So I edit, I invited here, click on it. I could have add more user reviewer accounts here. And I'm going to invite this person to invite the paper. So here, I'm going to click on Finish. So look at what happens now. I'm going to actually refresh this to show you. You see, my reviewer has received this already in the eReview system, but he or she also got an email from eReviewer. You see, here is that you are receiving this message. Your current role is reviewer. And let's see that that paper has been submitted also, has been sent to the reviewer. Let me look at that one because okay, here you go. Yep. Okay, here you go. Okay. I have received, the journal reviewer has received the emails, and they got, now I am the reviewer now. This is the reviewer account. Look here, journal reviewer number 4. And they have a new review invitation. They can just click on the view invitation and they are going to tell me yes or no. Remember, they also will get an email as well too. So let me show you this email. Reviewer 4, sometimes it can go into spam folder as well. So we're gonna just check that one. I normally need to receive one more email for the reviewer. Okay. Oh, here you go. Here's the email that I was looking for. Because I, as the editor, has assigned this paper to reviewer number 4, he or she is getting this message now. You're receiving this message because you are currently serving on the editorial board of Journal of Marketing and Sales. This is all template, right, that you can change here. So they received, and they can actually go from here to this submission file, but I'm going to do it from here. They can actually look at the PDF, how it looks. Oh, this is in my expertise area. I'm going to review this. When they say this, they actually can, again, look at the PDF one more time, or they can just click on Submit Review, and they will be able to see this review here, right on the right side here, and give a grade. And also, then I am now going to even annotate on this paper as a reviewer. I can come here, make something, and click on text. This is not clear. So this is another way of actually reviewing the paper. So if this reviewer have done the work, and let's just do it for the time, I am obviously submitting non-meaningful things here. And almost done. Let's assume that I'm going to give a major revision, and I'm going to click on Submit Review. So my review has gone. Let's go back to the editor view. So you can see Admin Center. Now I have a decision. One is waiting for a decision because one reviewer has actually submitted. And for this paper, we need only one review to make a decision. So you can click on here to review their submission to you, their review. You can also see very easily what they have done. And if this is enough for you to be able to make a decision, you can come here, click on minor revision, major revision, reject, whatever that you want to do. Click on commit decision. This will bring the email screen. Again, you can edit anything that you want here from the template, or you can actually edit from this particular screen here. So imagine this is what I want to do. I'm going to click on send. Now look at the emails that I'm going to receive. The author will also receive an email because there is a decision has been done. Look, here's the author. Oh, no, it's not here. I think it takes, okay, here a second. Here you go. So author has received this one. Manuscript submitted, journal has been reviewed. The comments of the reviewer indicated in the below, and recommended revisions to your manuscript. So again, this text can be changed, and this is how it looks. It's beautiful, very nice. And I also will show you one last thing, which is to actually assign some of the papers to an associate editor or guest editor or whatever that you need to do. There's a new submission here. I'm going to actually take action on this one. I've done this earlier, so I'm going to click on action. Here, if I have a editor-in-chief, that's here. If you have multiple editor-in-chiefs, you can actually even assign them the papers separately. You can have associate editors. Usually big journals have that. Or you can have a track chair. So assigning somebody is very easy. Clicking on here. And if you have somebody, right now I'm the only person journal editor, you can make them as the track chairs or associate editors. How do you do it? Very easy. You can go to the users, find the users, whatever the users are, and I can actually select the user that I want to turn this into an track chair or editor or associate editor. For the sake of example, let me do this, okay? Journal author, this one. I'm going to make this person a associate editor. They are going to be authors. The author is still going to become, you see, but they also become an associate editor track chair. They are actually exactly the same thing. So let me now show you as an editor. You can actually, now I go into the new submissions. I'm going to assign this paper to my associate editor. So I'm going to click here. And here is the journal author. Remember, we just made that person associate guest editor. I'm going to assign now this journal author will receive an email saying that the editor has assigned them actually one. See here, your invitation to associate editor. So somebody has become assigned already. So I am as the associate editor. The associate editor will see this, and they will be able to go and take action if they need to. Now your associate editor can actually take care of this paper. Let me show you how that works. Now I'm gonna log in as a journal author. Now I am also track chair, remember, or associate editor. I'm going to log in. Let me show you how this works. Look, see, now I have the manage associate center. I click here, and I can see all the papers that's been assigned to me. Did I assign already? Oh, here. This is the revision. I'm as an author, but you will be able to see it here as well. So this is what I have to share with you. This is really an let me stop sharing my screen. This is really an easy, user-friendly software. It's about 34 minutes, this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let us know. We are happy that you are using eReviewer. I hope that it will be a good and positive experience. Thank you.